If your breakfast has been less than 30 grams of protein or worse, you're skipping it completely until you're starving around lunch or earlier. That one thing might be the reason you're overeating at night, craving sugar all day, moody, tired, and not seeing the results you want. So today I have 7 easy, delicious, high protein breakfasts, all under 10 minutes. And they're also my go-to, especially now that I am 32 weeks pregnant. I'm Chris, I'm a national board certified health coach. I help women break the yo-yo dieting cycle for good by eating more delicious and nutritious food and training smarter, not harder. And breakfast, well, this is where everything starts. But if you're not sure why breakfast is so important and you actually think that you can skip it and everything is okay, but you're still here, I urge you to watch this video next, which will help you understand why breakfast matters and why you shouldn't be skipping it, especially if you're a woman. But for now, let's dive into these 7 delicious, fast, and nutritious fat loss friendly breakfasts. I want to start with my personal go-to because I eat these 6 out of 7 mornings. It takes exactly 9 minutes or less, and I usually make it while I'm emptying the dishwasher and tidying up the kitchen a little bit in the morning. 2 eggs, sunny side up. They cook super quick. Cover them so they cook quicker. You could do scrambled, you could do pre-cooked hard-boiled eggs for simplicity, but I just don't love eggs any other way. Then I warm up about 2 to 3 ounces of leftover protein, usually ground beef, sometimes chicken, because 2 eggs alone is only about 12 grams of protein, so it's not enough. I put it all on a Pacha English muffin or tortilla sometimes. Add some cheese, a side of salad with guacamole, goat cheese, and a squeeze of lime, maybe some hot sauce, and that's protein from the eggs, the meat, and the cheese. So it's around 40 to 45 grams of total protein. Fiber from the Pacha muffin and the Guac or the tortillas. Healthy fats from the eggs and avocado, some greens, and this keeps me full from around 8 a.m. when I eat breakfast until around 1 or 2 p.m. for lunch, even while pregnant. I have 0 cravings in between meals and I do not snack or graze throughout my entire day. I know sometimes we want to find excuses to not eat breakfast, but in reality, it takes a couple of minutes. It's just about experimenting and finding out what works best for you and your life. My hope is that all these ideas help inspire you and maybe give you some different ideas. And if you want to try Pacha, they're now in almost every Whole Foods. I have a discount code in the description if you want to buy them from their website. My second go-to is chicken or beef sincronizadas. I am Mexican and quesadillas are a super common breakfast in Mexico. Easy, delicious, fast, and it can be very nutritious. 2 to 3 Pacha tortillas, depending on how hungry I am at that day, with some Oaxaca or mozzarella cheese, some leftover beef or chicken inside, of course, to amp up that protein, some guac, some salsa, some hot sauce, lime, of course. And this type of breakfast takes less than 5 minutes, I would say, if you're just reheating food and just making the quesadillas. They cook super quick. This comes out about 45 to 50 grams of protein, and you can always add eggs on the side or even some Greek yogurt on the top, so you can make it your own. You can always modify these things. And now the reason I keep mentioning Pacha tortillas and English muffins, they're made from sprouted buckwheat and sea salt. That's it. They're high in fiber, low glycemic, which is so important at breakfast. You don't want a big glucose spike first thing in the morning. When you start your day with sugar, whether that's juice, a regular muffin, oatmeal, a conventional yogurt and granola parfait, or a donut, a not well thought out smoothie, or a frappuccino with tons of sugar, with all these different very standard American options, you're setting yourself up for a roller coaster day of cravings and crashes that make it harder to make good food choices as the day goes by. This is not a willpower problem. So if you start your day with enough protein, healthy fats, and fiber, and little to no sugar, you are setting the tone for stable energy, steady mood, and your cravings will be in check all day long. Third breakfast, a protein-forward yogurt bowl, under 5 minutes. And this requires 0 cooking. Plain Greek yogurt, no added sugars, no fruit-flavored yogurt, nothing like that. Your plain Greek yogurt is high in protein and healthy fats. My favorite brands are Siggi's, Nancy's, or also Stonyfield, 100% grass-fed. For 30 grams of protein from yogurt alone, you would need about a cup and a half, or you can use about a cup, and then you can add a scoop of your favorite protein powder, which is what I do when I want to taste it like a dessert almost. My combo right now is half a scoop of vanilla Flap City and half a scoop of chocolate Promix. You have to try mixing vanilla and chocolate protein powder. It tastes incredible. Then I add berries, usually blackberries and strawberries. Those are my go-to right now. And sometimes I add a tablespoon of psyllium husk for extra fiber, a little bit of water to thin it all out, and sometimes a half banana and a nut butter if I'm feeling very hungry. It's usually right now during pregnancy. This keeps me full until lunch, no doubt. The key is using enough yogurt for protein and making sure you have fiber in there as well, with berries or with some psyllium husk or chia seeds or something like that that can make you feel full for longer. But also fiber is super important for your gut. Do not underestimate it. And so the key is that your body needs fuel, especially in the morning. Eating too little will backfire sooner or later. And as a woman, we need to understand that our bodies need food to function, to think, to move, to thrive, and yes, even to lose fat safely. The key is in the foods you eat, not just the calories. Breakfast number 4. Almost the same formula as the yogurt, but instead of yogurt, with cottage cheese. Completely different flavor and texture. Sometimes I crave the yogurt version and sometimes I really crave the cottage cheese version. So this is the same idea. Cottage cheese, protein powder, and berries, some nut butter, some healthy fats, maybe some flax seeds or chia seeds or some psyllium husk for fiber. And if you don't like cottage cheese, do the yogurt version. If you don't like the yogurt version, you can do the cottage cheese version. Either way, protein, fat, fiber, done in an easy, fast, and delicious way. Sometimes I even, if I'm feeling extra hungry, I grab 2 English muffins from Pacha and I put the nut butter there, and then I put some berries and banana on top, and then I just eat it as a sandwich with like some cottage cheese on the Pacha. It's kind of like a healthy peanut butter jelly, but with cottage cheese. It's delicious. And also, if you don't like the texture of cottage cheese, sometimes I have blended it so it looks like it would be yogurt, but it's cottage cheese and it's also like amazing flavor. There's something in there that changes the flavor and the texture and it tastes amazing. I don't do it often because I'd rather just quickly just put it together and skip the blending, but that is hands down an incredibly tasting dessert. And you can also prep these in mason jars ahead of time and grab them from the fridge and just kind of eat them on the go. And with this type of breakfast, I honestly eat them for lunch or sometimes a light dinner if I don't feel too hungry. Not that this is a light breakfast, you can make it as nutritious and as nutrient dense and as filling as you want, but you can also make it lighter. So it could work as a lighter dinner or a lighter lunch. And really with all the breakfast options, they could be any of the 3. If you're watching this thinking, I had no idea my breakfast was sabotaging me, I created a free health score assessment that helps you figure out exactly what's keeping you stuck. And it takes less than 5 minutes and it gives you personalized insights. I'll leave a link in the description for you. The 5th breakfast is chia protein pudding. You've probably seen this everywhere. Super simple to batch make and keep it in the fridge and then just grab to go. You can do 1 cup of your preferred milk. We use sometimes coconut milk, sometimes almond milk, and 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. You have to mix it very, very well. I do 3 times over about 3 minutes. So you stir and then leave it rest for 1 minute, and then you stir again, let rest for 1 minute, the last stir, and then you let it rest for 1 minute. That way it doesn't settle all the way at the bottom and the chia seeds don't clump. Then let it settle for an hour or so, but you can also do this quickly at night and let it settle overnight. This works best. And in the morning, you can add your protein powder, your berries, a dollop of Greek yogurt for freshness, and maybe some nut butter to make sure you're meeting all your calorie needs. And all these adds extra delicious flavor. This is a great and very delicious option. It's high in fiber and protein and should keep you full for hours. That's how you know your breakfast is working. Stable energy, stable mood, and you're free from food thoughts all the way until lunch. And stay tuned because I will be posting a full breakfast meal prep video soon where I show how to batch these and more delicious recipes to keep you stocked and ready to go in the mornings. Breakfast number 6, the protein smoothie. Now here's the thing, most people make smoothies very wrong. They throw in some fruit and some juice and maybe some spinach and call it healthy. But there's no real protein, no fat, no fiber. So you're still hungry an hour later. Here's how to actually build one that works. Half a cup of milk, we use almond milk or coconut milk, sometimes goat milk. Half a cup of Greek yogurt, that's your protein base. 1.5 scoops of protein powder, a tablespoon of nut butter for fat, or maybe half an avocado, half a banana, 1 cup of berries, and a dash of cinnamon. This combo is so delicious. You can add some psyllium husk for fiber or some chia seeds. The key is to have protein and fiber in there, which is what most people skip. That's about 50 to 56 grams of protein in a cup on the go. Super easy to put together. Now, I'm not a huge smoothie person. I honestly don't do these very often, but during my first trimester, these worked amazingly. But just remembering this and talking about it makes me crave it right now. And hey, you can rotate endlessly. Different berries, different nut butters, and you can add cacao powder powder. And my number 7, for those mornings when you want something that feels more like dessert for breakfast, it's a protein pudding. I also eat this as an after dinner treat sometimes. Very simple. 1 scoop of protein powder, a tablespoon of PB2, a tablespoon of flax and chia blend, a little allulose for sweetness, some baking powder, water, and a few dark chocolate chips. Mix it until it's all blended together. Put it in a muffin mold. Air fryer at 400 for 3 to 5 minutes, or just maybe microwave it. You can also do that once in a while. It's okay. And nothing in there actually needs to be cooked. So as long as it has the consistency you want, that's perfect. I usually top it up with, of course, Greek yogurt and some berries. And this is about 37 grams of protein, and it literally tastes like a brownie. When I eat these for breakfast, I just make sure I'm eating a heavier lunch because it is on the lower calorie side. Unless you add more yogurt or you eat maybe 2 servings. Ladies, we need to fuel our bodies. We need to stop thinking that we need to eat small portions, small everything. That's why we keep being hungry, and that's why we keep going back to this loop of restrict and binge cycle. We need to fuel ourselves properly. Okay. Going back, you can also make a batch of these and keep them in the fridge for up to 4 days. That's what I do when I usually make these. I just make 6 or so and I put them in the fridge. And then every time I want one, I just warm it up. And so if I had to pick my favorite 2 and my real go-tos for most of the week, it would be the egg sandwich and the sincronizadas. So the first and second one. They're rich in fiber and protein, incredibly satiating, and give me real energy until lunch. Sometimes I have to remind myself to eat at lunch, even while pregnant. I don't think about food at all. And that's when you know your breakfast is doing its job, when you don't need to graze all day and when you don't need to reach for snacks at the office. And for the other options, I kind of rotate them when I'm craving something less savory or for a quick lunch or dinner as well. But all these are super fast, super easy, and work for busy mornings and a busy family life. This is exactly what I helped clients build inside my 12-week coaching program. Real, sustainable habits that make eating well feel like a second nature, not a daily battle. And most of my clients tell me that fixing breakfast changed everything for them. If you're tired of figuring this out alone, there's a link in the description to learn more. Because there will always be excuses not to do something. But when it comes to your health and your goals, it matters. It helps you show up better for yourself and your family. So don't skip breakfast. It might be the very one thing that helps fix everything else. Now, if you want another easy, high-protein breakfast to add to your rotation, I have a pumpkin spice protein pancake recipe that is absolutely delicious. It takes a little longer to prepare, but you can batch make them, freeze them, and pop them in the toaster any morning. I'm gonna link it for you over here. And make sure you're subscribed. I'm dropping a full breakfast meal prep video soon, and take my free health score assessment to find out what's keeping you stuck. All the links are in the description for you. I will see you in the next video.
We're still on board, dancing